day 3 of the CricFit home workout videos. Hi. Today is all about foam rolling. So just real quick as an introduction, if you haven't subscribed already to our YouTube channel, please do and hit the bell now. I'll wait.
Ding.
Thank you. So the whole point in Michael and I making these videos is for them to be experienced as a series. If you literally follow along day by day, you're going to get a great workout, you're going to get a great stretch session, you're going to get a great yoga session, some meditation. It's going to be the 7-day well-rounded experience that you are looking for and that all of us need at home. So, are you ready to get started with some foam rolling?
Oh yeah.
All right, everyone. So today we're going to talk about foam rolling. And just to back it up a bit, there are actually 3 different types of stretching. The first is dynamic stretching, which is done before a strength training workout. Yesterday in day 2, our lower body booty builder, Michael, walked you through our traditional dynamic stretching routine. The point of that is really just to get the body moving, lubricate the joints, and bring warmth to the whole body. Another type of stretching would be static stretching. Static stretching is done at the end of an exercise where you're traditionally holding a stretch for 30 seconds in order to bring length and balance back to the body, or done before a workout if there's some sort of correction that needs to take place within the muscles. The third type of stretching, and what we're going to cover today, is self-myofascial release. So in our body, there is a layer of fascia. It is on top of our muscle but below our skin, and it really holds everything together. And sometimes there are places that can get stuck, and it's a really important thing to incorporate foam rolling into your weekly routine. So without further ado, I'm going to let Michael take it away from here.
Thanks, Megan. As she said, we're going to do some self-myofascial release. That's just a fancy word for self-massage. We all like getting massages. Why do we do it? Because our muscles and our fascia get super tight. So the cool thing is you can do it at home with a foam roller. And if any of you know me, you should have one of these. If you don't, I'm not your friend anymore. Everyone should be foam rolling. Our muscles get, especially if you're working out and running and doing activities, those muscles tighten up. The fascia on top of them is the connective tissue that pulls it all together. So today we're going to foam roll. Most of you should have something like this. This is a little one, a little travel one. Or this is one of my favorites. It's hollow, so you can actually bring it with you. Put your socks and underwear in it. And it's a little bit firmer. These bumps are supposed to mimic like fingers. It's just kind of fancy. But for the sake of today, I'm just gonna use this big blue one here. If you don't have one, Amazon like 30, 40 bucks, right? So everyone just starts sitting on their foam roller. We're gonna work the glutes first. Most people do not have tight glutes. Why? Because you're sitting on them all day. But if you do, then you're gonna wanna roll it. So basically what you're doing is you're exploring your body. Where are you tight? That's where you're gonna wanna focus on. My glutes are not feeling too tight today. Back there, you also have a muscle called your piriformis, or your external rotators, right? And that muscle, particularly on the right side, if you drive a lot, because we spend a lot of time in external rotation, that can be tight. So you can kind of get in there by leaning into it. It's right underneath your sit bone. If you want to get deeper into it, you can get like a tennis ball or a lacrosse ball is my favorite. And what you do with that is you sit on it and right go to that sit bone, and right underneath it, you'll feel your piriformis. If it's tight, you'll know it. First time I did this, I about jumped through the roof. Left one feeling a little tight today for me, so spend a little time there, and then switching sides. You don't need to beat the dead horse here. You're just looking at loosening up the tissue. Spending 30 seconds tops in an area is plenty of time daily. I like to compare it to it's like the brushing of your teeth for the body, right? If you never do it, it hurts and it's all bad. If you do it regularly, it gets easier and better, and your body just gets nice and open, okay? So that's the lacrosse ball. We're gonna get back into that with the upper body stuff a little later, but let's continue with the foam rolling. And we're gonna work our way down the back of the legs. So hamstrings, a lot of people who sit a lot might have a tight distal hamstring, so that's in here. Again, just looking for any tight spots. If you find a tight spot, you want to go there and then roll against it. So your muscle fiber, like especially particularly in your legs, goes this way. So you roll with it, and then when you find a spot, you roll against it, right? So hamstrings, working our ways down to the calves here. And you can go around to the side. A lot of people have tight calves, particularly like runners, cyclists, women who wear high heels a lot. And you want to get all the way up and down. And if you find a spot, again, rolling side to side, okay? So that's the back of the legs. We're gonna get into the IT band now. So that looks like, that's the side of your leg. So your IT band, iliotibial band, is actually a tendon that runs on the side of your leg here, and it connects to your TFL, or your tensor fasciae latae. And you're not gonna get a lot of mobility out of a tendon. I like to just do a few big strokes here, if you're tight, all the way up and down the leg, and then really kind of settling into that TFL, or the side of the leg, or the side of the hip, sorry, kind of between your two hip bones. This is your iliac crest here, and this is actually the greater trochanter of your femur, and right in between there you have your TFL. And you can kind of go side to side. But again, just looking if it's tight. If it's tight, you need to roll it. If it's not, move it on. And of course, we'll do the other side. So, all the way from the hip to the knee. IT band on the right side. My right leg is always tighter than my left. For those of you who don't know me, I have a titanium rod in my right femur. I broke my leg 11 years ago now. So that hip just tends to run tight on me. It's also my weaker hip. A lot of times weakness and tightness go hand in hand. All right. So again, on this side, just getting in to the TFL, side of the hip there. Back and forth. If it's tight, spend some time there. If it's not, move it on. Again, feel free to pause the video at any time. If you want to spend a little more time somewhere, go for it. It's a cool thing about technology. You can pause, come back later. So then we're doing quadriceps, so the front of the legs. So that looks like this. Kind of grab a plank position and rolling from the hips all the way down to the knees. And again, if you find a tight spot, you can kind of go side to side against the muscle fiber. Quadriceps are big, they wrap around the whole front of the leg, so you can go side to side. If you want more intensity, a lot of people have tight quads. Runners, cyclists, yogis, and most athletes, it's quad dominant, right? So if you want to get more into one side, you take the roller, bring it over, and then you can just do one leg at a time. And again, kind of rolling around. My right quad tends to be pretty tight, so I like to spend a lot of time here. And daily, you can do this every day. You don't need to do it all day, but 5-10 minutes, and then doing some stretching afterwards, great. So from here, I just want to show you how to get into your hip flexor. It's still on the end of the roller. If you kind of dig it in, your hip flexor, or your iliopsoas, connects from the head of your femur and goes up through the body and connects to your lumbar spine, right? You can't really get in through the intestines here. A good body worker can actually release it on the inside. But for yourself at home, you can go here and then drop the hip around. And now I'm getting into my right hip flexor, right? And you can do both sides. If you feel tightness there, spend a little time. This is a softball, also great for getting into your hip flexors. So you can go right here, same kind of spot I was with the foam roller, and it's going to be a little more intense. So just rolling out and digging in there. And if that's too intense, just go back to the rolling, totally fine. And of course, both sides. If you notice one side's tighter, maybe spend a little more time there. Okay, so that's the kind of the lower body. Let's do the upper body next. So, stay away from your low back. Most people don't have the core strength to get in the low back, and it's a good way to hurt your spine, which we don't want to do. So we're going to do thoracic spine, so basically upper back, right? For ladies, that's like the bra line. For men, if you feel your ribs, and women too, feel your ribs, and you go from there up. So give yourself a hug, because you deserve it. Tuck your chin, and roll out the upper back. So we're just opening up the shoulder blades. Oh, this one, most people love this one. One of my favorites. Feels really good. Now, if you want to get even more, you can do a lat rollout. So that the latissimus dorsi, this big muscle here, your wings, biggest muscle in the upper body. You can get a little deeper into there. Again, we're looking for tight spots, right? If you're not, my lats don't get too tight, so I don't really spend a lot of time here. And then, of course, both sides. Right. Kind of going from the ribs up almost into the shoulder, okay? If you want to get deeper into some of those muscles in the upper body, again, lacrosse ball or tennis ball is going to be softer. Rhomboids are here. If somebody is really open here, your rhomboids are probably too tight, so you get right here behind the shoulder blade. Levator scapula tends to be tight on a lot of people. That's the muscle that elevates your scapula, no kidding. And so that goes from the base or the cervical spine here, the neck, and connects to the top of the shoulder blade. And to roll that, you basically get against the wall, like so. I'm gonna say sitting so you guys can see me, but you can stand up and actually apply more pressure. And again, going against the muscle fiber. And that feels really good. My right side is, again, usually is tighter than my left. I'm right dominant, so I'm using this hand and arm a lot. This is one of those ones I'm doing almost daily, but then you want to do both sides. And again, going against the muscle fiber. If you find what are called trigger points, just a fancy word for knots, that's where you kind of want to spend time. And think of it like kneading dough, right? You ever bake bread and you're kneading dough and you find a lump? What do you do with the lump? Well, you push into it and then you spread it out. Think of your tissue like that, okay? So that's back, neck. You can also do, if you find yourself rounded here, you probably have a tight pectoralis major, pectoralis minor, just your chest muscles. So to release that, kind of hard on a foam roller, but you can go against the wall and get your shoulder right up in there and just kind of roll it out. Again, you're probably going to be tighter on your dominant side, okay? So foam roller, lacrosse ball, softball if you have it. Oh, I do have one more ball, golf ball. What do we use that for? If you have a collapsing arch or maybe plantar fasciitis or just really tight feet, then you put it under the foot. You can just sit down in a chair into this, and ooh, that feels really good. So now I'm rolling, I'm massaging the fascia of my feet. Right? And you can do it while you're just sitting at your desk. It's just nice to have around. Also good to massage your feet. A lot of trigger points in your feet as well. So that's the golf ball. Okay, now let's get into some mobility you can do with the foam roller. So we're gonna go back to the upper back. So for those of you who are rounded, who have a kyphotic thoracic back, it means you're here. I'd say probably 80% of clients. Again, it's because we're sitting at a desk, we're rounded forward. And so what you wanna do is you wanna open up, bring it into extension. Now, how do we do that? Foam roller is a great tool. So you're going back to that upper back. Remember we did the rolling. And now you want to go to the top of the thoracic spine, okay? And where is that? Basically the top of the shoulders, base of the neck. And we're gonna go open, so reach the head back, arms back, and then close. I call this open and close. Reaching back, and in. We'll do 3. Now if that's too much, couple things. You could just put your hands here so there's less weight pulling you back. If it hurts your neck, you can support your head with your hands, right? But the idea is just getting that chest open, the thoracic spine nice and open. And we're gonna do, you have 12 thoracic vertebrae. We're gonna work our way down. So you move up a little bit, roller comes down the spine, and again, open, close, open, close, open, close. Good, so that's 3, and we move up a little bit more. So we're just working we're going down 1 vertebrae at a time. And open, close, open, close. Good. And it should feel good, like you're opening and stretching. It shouldn't be too painful. And again, move it up a little bit. And open, close, open, close, open, close, and moving up. I think a good goal I give my clients is to really be able to get the head and hands, arms all the way down. That's a full thoracic extension. If you find yourself tight in here, probably means you need to do this more often. So we're just still moving down the back. Open, close, open, close, open, close. Good. And then we're going to work our way all the way down to the base of the thoracic spine. And you might notice you get tighter as you go down. I usually get tight mid-thoracic spine, so I spend a little more time there, okay? So that's the thoracic spine. Another thing I like to do with this is put it vertically, and then you lay down on it, and just laying here like this, you're putting your body into an open position, right? So if we're driving, we're sitting at a desk, we're rounded forward all day. So just hanging out here, we allow the body to be an extension, opening the shoulders, the hips. The other thing you can do here is put the base of your head, like there's a little shelf here, I call it, on the back of the head. If you put that right on the edge of the foam roller, your head weighs about 10 to 12 pounds. So we're gonna use it to actually traction the spine. And we're gonna move the hips away, so just a little bit. And now I'm pulling the spine nice and long, so we're easing the pressure between the vertebrae. And then you can kind of gently just rock side to side. And this is tractioning the spine. Feels really good. Over the course of the day, we're on our feet, we're sitting, we're standing, we're walking, and we get that spinal compression. So this is good for helping open that up. Just you hang out here as long as you like. A lot of times I'll just bring the roller into the living room at night and we're watching a show and I just hang out here for a good 5 minutes. Next, we're gonna open your shoulders. So to do that, you bring your hands to the ground. I call these snow angels, or you can call them, or stick 'em ups. And you want to get your hands to the ground, you're just gonna reach straight up. And then when you come down, elbows are coming into the ribs and back up. And ideally, you can keep your hands on the ground the whole time. And we're just doing 10 of these. You feel that nice and open through the chest, the anterior shoulder. And a couple more. Good. That's it. You can always do a few more if you want, if you're feeling tight. Again, a daily practice is going to get you nice and open through the chest, right? Okay, we're going to continue to open the thoracic spine. I'm going to grab a pillow here, and we're going to do some open the book and around the clock, okay? Really good for opening that thoracic spine, the upper back again. So just grab a pillow for your head. You want to keep your spine in neutral. So hips are stacked, shoulders are stacked, knee is supported, and foot, okay? Now, we're going to bring the hands together out in front of you like you're praying, and we're going to open the book. So keeping the shoulders stacked, exhale, reach back. So what this is doing is it's activating the muscles of the posterior shoulder, the upper back, which is always good because we don't get enough of that. And we're opening the chest and the anterior shoulder. which tends to be tight on most people. Again, if you don't feel like this is beneficial to you, feel free to skip it. Exhale and reach. Nice. And of course, you're going to do both sides, but I don't really want to turn around and face the wall, so I'm going to let you do that. Push pause, other side, open the book, keep your shoulders stacked. The next one is called around the clock. So you keep your hands together, again, same starting place, and then you're going to reach up. So this is 9 o'clock, 12 o'clock, flip the hand, turn the body, so now we're opening up, turning thoracic spine, and then 3 o'clock, and then bring it back. Keeping the hand on the ground the whole time. If you can't keep your hand on the ground, lift your knee. I'd rather you have your hand supported, so your shoulder is supported. So you can go like there, okay? And again, we're gonna do 10 of these. Keep it going. Exhale as you reach. Good. And you should feel that nice and open through the chest, shoulder, and the upper back, okay? Doing 10, again, switch sides, 10 to the other side. And those are all some of the exercises you can do with a foam roller. It's a great tool to have, super easy. You can just get one, throw it in the corner of your house, and I recommend doing all that daily if you can. And really just focus on your tight spots. You don't need to spend 20 minutes doing it. You can spend 5-10 minutes a day, and you're really gonna notice a difference. Yeah. Oh, look who's here. What are we gonna do? Are you gonna show us how to foam roll? Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Just make sure you don't have too much of an audience when you're doing this, because your shirt tends to hike up and little people want to come tickle your belly. All right, well, thanks so much for watching. As always, let us know if you have any questions. And from our home to yours, have a great day. Thank you.
Thanks for watching today's video on self-myofascial release or foam rolling. That is a great baseline, something that you guys can do how many times a week?
Every day.
Every day!
Why
Yay!
not? You got the time.
Yay! All right, tomorrow it will be all about the upper body, focusing on the chest and the back with this guy. Bye.